warm welcome. Good to see everybody here today. Usually we are a little smaller on holiday weekends, but I'm so heartened to see everyone showing up and here, especially when it's a sort of a rainy Sunday morning, but yet it is full of light and happiness. And so, I welcome you here to our church. And I also, hang on, just got to check for our announcements. See, every church is different where we do announcements. Some we do it in the beginning. Hang on. Ours are later. Okay. Moving on. I do 3 different churches, so sometimes I have to make sure I'm on top of where we are. So let us begin with our land and social justice acknowledgements. The land that this church sits upon is land that was stewarded by the Haudenosaunee people. It is land that is sacred and holy, and it is our obligation to hold it as such and keep it. Our social justice acknowledgement is to our covenant as Unitarian Universalists to raise up social justice in a manner in which all people who are marginalized in community and oppressed have a place not just at the table, but have a voice that is acknowledged, heard, and responded to. And I forgot to do my introduction. Good morning, I'm Reverend Susan Frawly. It is my honor and privilege to be in your pulpit this morning. And so let's take a moment just to be present. Turn off your cell phones if you haven't already. And just take in our sanctuary this morning. The smells, the light, everything about it. It's different every Sunday, both from what's happening outside and what we bring inside to it. Our opening words this morning are according to the collected works of Abraham Lincoln. They are attributed to Abraham Lincoln in the New York Times, August 27, 1887. And he said, "You can fool all of the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all of the time. But you can't fool all the people all the time." Goes in our theme today of Silly Sunday and mirthfulness. And so, Patty, if you'd like to come forward and light our chalice, I invite everyone to find our chalice words in our order of service. I pulled the wick up a little bit, so. Does it make it go higher? If that doesn't work, you can use the candle. Or you can use the candle and light it here and then light, if that works better. And let's all repeat the chalice lighting words which you can find in your order of service. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of freedom. So I invite you to find hymn number 20, "Be Thou My Vision." Patty's going to play it in, and then I invite us all to sing along as we be willing or able. Be thou my vision, O God of my heart, not be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best thought by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence my light. Be thou my wisdom, and thou my true word. I ever with thee, and thou with me, God. Thou my soul's shelter, be heavenward, O power of my power. Riches I heed not, nor world's empty praise. Thou my inheritance now and always. Thou and thou only, first in my heart. Sovereign of heaven, my treasure thou art. It is part of our tradition, part of our ritual, when we come together to take time to share our joys, our sorrows, and our concerns in a soundbite moment. And if one chooses to light a candle, or if you are remembering someone, you may put to our remembrance vase. It's been my practice since almost 3 years ago, October 7th, to light a candle for those who are hostages, that they may be free and safe and return back to their homes. And today especially, remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice as we honor and acknowledge Memorial Day tomorrow. I invite you to come forward and to share your joys, sorrows, and concerns. Is the microphone? It's hiding.
This is secondhand information. Bill got a phone call yesterday from Jean Speck, our longtime member, and Jean just got out of the hospital. She was in the new hospital in Lockport on transit, and she has a respiratory thing. So she says she's back home, but she's not really recovered. It takes time. So she probably would appreciate phone calls. She has a landline in her apartment, or messages, texts, letters, no, not text, letters or emails.
I'm glad nothing was broken. So that is my joy. I have a little puppy, and he is very, very cute and unpredictable. As I was walking him, I don't know, I heard him yip, and I felt my head hit the sidewalk. And there was nothing else that contacted the sidewalk. No hands, no feet, it was just my head. And anyway, I am here, and I understand how you felt that day when you, and it's like a rude awakening, for sure. So I'm very glad, at least, that I'm kind of okay. So that's my joy.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. All the people who bet that I was unable to drive all the way to Provincetown and back by myself lost.
Wow. Good on ya.
I did it. And I had a whole bunch, my car was packed to the top almost. It was amazing. What's interesting is that I'm not sad. I had a wonderful time there. It's a beautiful place. And I had a chance to own it and meet wonderful people and have a great time. And now it's my time to be in my home here. Some of you may be inheriting some of the things that I brought back, and some gifts that are happening possibly, but it was just a wonderful experience, and I'm not sad. I'm glad that I'm fortunate that I was able to have such a beautiful place with a whole bunch of beautiful people. Anyone else?
Do you guys remember when I talked about my dad a couple of weekends ago? my parents are gonna get to talk to see if I can see him again, and that might be this weekend, or next weekend. But I'm still sad because I can't see my dad. Anyone else?
Did you want to light a candle?
Hi, I finished this book like in 2 days. It's called Good Joy, Bad Joy, and I just wanted to tell you guys all about it. It was just because it's literally joy. It's about a woman, it's like 89 years old, her name is Joy, and it is a really funny book, and it's from my Barnes & Noble's book club, and I brought my copy, so if anyone wants to borrow this, we're meeting on June 2nd at Barnes & Noble's, and we talk for an hour from 6 to 7, but this book is it's just really cool. It's this woman named Joy. She's 89, and her whole life she's been a rule follower. And then her best friend, who is the wild one, comes down with cancer now. So it inspires some change and joy, and she maybe pulls a fire alarm or two. You know, it's just really, it's a funny book. So if anyone wants to borrow this and come to book club at Barnes & Noble's on June 2nd, ask me. I was literally laughing out loud, so I had basically read the whole book with Emerson. Because he can say, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
A dear friend of mine and a well-known and respected member of this community passed away yesterday. I was fortunate enough to know him. I'm sure it's going to be publicized very soon, but I'll leave that for the family to do. So he's going to be very much missed. It was a rapidly advancing illness, and he's leaving hundreds, if not thousands of people affected and sad. I was so fortunate to call him my good friend.
Well, I too lost a good friend when I first came to Niagara Falls 20 years ago. Her name was Donna Tony, and she was a part of the singles club, and her and 4 other girls approached me the first night I was there and asked me if I wanted to play cards with them. So I have seen Donna nearly every week for the past 20 years. She's a part of the singles club. She was a part of our birthday club of women, and also our TOPS group is Take Off Pound Sensibly. She was also the leader of that group. But Donna, while I was in California for the past 3 weeks, just before I came home, she had a stroke. She went very fast. And anyway, she died the day I come back on the 19th. So she'll be missed by a lot of people, and I'll miss her.
I'll take the microphone for you. To take another trip. I'm just holding this. If anyone else still wants to speak, you can use the microphone.
Hi.
Is there someone on? Yes.
Hi.
online. She would
Okay.
like to speak.
Hi, this is Danielle. I have a joy and a concern. So my joy is I have a really good friend that me and my twin sister we met at the UU Church in East Aurora, and she introduced us to the Plaza Art House in Buffalo, and we got to see a Nigerian jazz band. It was really good. I was hesitant at first too because I've never seen jazz live, so I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, but it turned out to be one of the best experience I've had so far in my life, and I'm really thankful that my friend Marion Rich will invited us and really pushed for us to come and join them. And then my concern is it's a concern um, is that my workers comp has approved my therapies for my TBI. Now I'm just waiting for it to start. I'm going through ECMC to do my therapies, and it's always a long process, and I just hope that they'll be able to get me in and make sure I get to do all my therapies, because last time when my therapies were approved, I did not get to do all my therapies. They only let me do my physical therapy, but I really need to do the other therapies. So I'm really hoping ECMC this time around do a better job on providing me the therapies I need.
I'm going to light a candle for her. Teresa, were there anyone else on Zoom who wanted to make any comments? Did anyone else wish to make any comments? For all the joys, the sorrows, the concerns, and the memories of those who have passed, those that have been spoken and those that are held in hearts and in minds, to all of these we give our best intentions and our best energies, and we bless them, amen and a women. Bless you. So today is Silly Sunday, Mirthful Sunday. It's a day to think about humor. Humor has a place within faith. And for our spiritual practice, you may have heard this before, but if not, a little story that goes into humor and also a little bit of humility. The story goes like this. A Unitarian Universalist went on vacation and arranged for his mother to stay at his house and to take care of his cat. And just to be sure, he asked his minister if he would look in on them every day and just make sure that they were all right. No problem, said the minister. And the man flew off to Mexico, and after a couple of days, he called the minister and asked, how were things going? Well, the minister said, your cat died. Wow, you call yourself a minister? Do you have to come right out and tell me that? Couldn't you have a little compassion or consideration? I'm on vacation. Couldn't you have broken it to me a little more gently, first telling me the cat is on the roof, and then maybe the next day telling me the cat fell off the roof, and then maybe the next day telling me you had to take the cat to the vet. Like that. Just boom all at once. By the way, how's my mother doing? Well, the minister said, she's up on the roof. Such is our spiritual practice. And now we will take up our offertory, which goes to serve the good works of this church. passion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me. Just trying to figure out where the feedback was coming from so you wouldn't have to hear that. So we used to say before we would sing our hymns, we invite you to rise as you be willing or able. Well, today, I invite you to laugh as you might be willing or able. It is absolutely okay to laugh in church. It's kind of its own holy noise. Silliness does have a place in faith, especially when you lose your, there we go, back, okay, technology. Whether it's poking fun at leaders or taking some liberties with our own beliefs and practice, silliness is a good thing. And it's not meant to be cruel or harmful or mocking. It is to evoke a childlike wonder and engagement with the side of ourselves that we often keep protected. An escaped laugh is a release. It's a healing. It can be spiritual, can also be audacious. There is one story, a sacred religious hero sometimes can be seen as an object of humor, all in good fun. One of the great spiritual leaders of the last century was Gandhi. Gandhi walked barefoot everywhere, to the point that the soles of his feet became quite thick and hard. Being a very spiritual person, he ate very little and often fasted. And as a result, he was quite thin and frail. Furthermore, due to his diet, Gandhi ended up with very bad breath. Therefore, he came to be known as, wait for it, super calloused, fragile mystic, plagued with halitosis. Youths have their own funny stories. This is one of my favorites. There's the tale of three boys who were watching evangelists on television. After watching, they decided to go outside and be like that evangelist. The first boy, a Christian, knocked on a door and said, "I'm here to give you the good word of Jesus." The second boy, a Presbyterian, knocked on a door and said, "I'm here to share fellowship and Bible study with you." The third boy, a UU, knocked on a door, and when someone yelled back at him, "Who's there?" the boy yelled back, "Who do you want it to be?" We UUs are good at laughing at our own rituals or even things of value. There was a town that had a series of fires that broke out in 3 different houses of worship. At the Catholic Church, the priest quickly carried out the Eucharist. At the Jewish temple, the rabbi quickly carried out the Torah. And at the UU church, the minister quickly carried out the coffee pot. Humor is important in having balance. It helps find a grounding or a release from the seriousness. It's not a distraction, but rather a complement to whatever is being concerned or worried about. Our approach to our value of each person doing a responsible and independent search for truth and meaning can best be found in this 2-liner. Rick, how many Unitarian Universalists does it take to change a light bulb? None. We believe it must want to change itself. Okay, that was a groaner. But yet so true in how we look at our world in that personal inventory. Or since we have all kinds of ideas about the afterlife, a classic UU joke for funerals is, all dressed up and going nowhere. All right, hopefully but let's not forget about our infamous potlucks. 3 recently dead people are at the pearly gates, and the angel asks the first, "What?" And the person says, "Catholic." And the angel says, "Did you go to confession?" "Oh, yes, every week," said the person. "Okay, go right in." The second person is Jewish. The angel asks, "Did you make a pilgrimage to the Wailing Wall?" "Yes, I did, just last year." "Okay," says the angel, "go right in." The last person states that they are a Unitarian. And the angel asks, "And did you not bring a hot dish to share?" Some people sometimes say they never hear the phrase or the name Jesus in church. That's not really true. It's used in many different ways, and again, we are a faith that, especially if you look at our different banners, we encompass many different beliefs, different roots. But truly, to the person who says that they've never heard Jesus' name shared, well, they should have been here a week or so when a handy person went down the stairs and declared loudly as they fell, "Jesus Christ!" As many of you know, our faith found its roots with King Sigmund. So this joke is sort of appropriate. We look at roots and we look at spaces. What 2 things do UUs and Dracula have in common? Transylvania, and they both shy away from a cross. You know that King Sigmund was the head of Transylvania, I guess, there, but still, there we are. We have a connection with Dracula. Moving on. In fact, it is our laughter, it is our humor, it is our ability to look at ourselves and smile, and also to, again, have that release so that we can create calm, that we can create balance in our worlds. Hopefully today you find something to laugh at, laugh at, because humor is about connection, not making fun. But again, I hope today you find something that gives you a good, uproarious belly laugh. I'm going to use this chair. And so, as is my tradition, I like to invite you to talk back. Talk back is an opportunity for you to reflect on the theme of today, some of the things that have been shared, some of the things that you've thought about while you're sitting here, and to share them with all of us. So I invite you to talk back. Oh, and I have the microphone. Hang on.
Ever since I was little, I always loved telling jokes. And my first joke I told was, "What did the pig say when the farmer pulled his tail?" "That's the end of me." This one, I don't know if it really goes along with the UU thing, but what do you call somebody that stays up all night wondering about the existence of dog? An insomniac, dyslexic, agnostic. A blind man goes into Walmart, and he's got his dog with him, his guide dog, and he starts swinging it around over his head, and the people are appalled. "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm just looking around."
Oh, that was good.
That's all I got.
Oh, right there. There we go. Yeah, it should be on still. Yep.
Well, I think your point is well taken about comedy. Many of us, I think, experienced some tremendous sadness this week. The end of an era, John Colbert, and it was really moving and really sad because the reason for this cancellation was just so petty and ridiculous. So we do need humor, and it was one of the few areas that we're laughing these days, and here we are. So I do think comedy is important, and laughter is important.
Oh, gotcha.
Even if our humor is pretty dark sometimes, I think it's kind of a gift we humans have, that we can learn to laugh at ourselves and even laugh at situations. I somehow think it kind of helps us deal with the pain, and it's a kind of a gift we have. And I think it's important to look for it, and it doesn't mean we don't acknowledge the pain or the suffering, but it's important, I believe, to look for it. And I think it strengthens us as a people. And so we should probably, have more of a tradition, to be fair, telling our favorite jokes, which I'm absolutely terrible at, because I always, always mess up the punchline. I start to get anxious before it and think, you can do this, and then, I screw it up. But the attempt is there, and I do look for humor and laughter when I can find it, and it is there. So.
My niece and I, she is 13 years old, and holy moly, you can feel the teenage years in full swing with this one. And just last night, she was upset. She's texting me because apparently I'm like a safe adult to talk to, because her parents don't know anything. They're just unfair and cruel. And she said she got busted a couple months back doing something she wasn't supposed to do. I'm not going to give him ideas, so I'll keep it to myself. But it's not 13-year-old activities. And my sister, she's a jokester. She's the funniest person I know. I, in comparison, am like dry paper, because she'll tell me. But my niece doesn't think it's very funny anymore that her mom is funny. And she was joking, well, maybe I'd let you go do this if you didn't do that. And she's got this big, hearty laugh, and my niece is telling me, well, why does she think it's a joke? This isn't a joke, this is my life. And I have to now communicate to her, Mom only does this because if you're not laughing, you're crying. And it was upsetting when she got busted for, so you gotta earn back your trust. And it's been a pretty common theme for us this week, that she doesn't think it's very funny, but she's 13, and I'm hoping she'll grow into it and come around to the laughter. And it was her mistake to own. So.
Anyone else wish the microphone or to share?
Actually,
Someone online? I'll take that.
neurosciences has shown that if you simply smile, even if you're not listening to something funny or you're upset, it actually changes the connections in your brain and improves your mood. So just the simple act of putting a smile on your face when you're upset will make you feel better.
Is anyone online that wishes to share or put something in the chat? Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
When I was in the ER, the doctor and someone said, "Can we?"
Microphone? Yep. Thank you, Patty.
Minuscule kind of place.
When I was in the ER, isn't working very well. But anyway, when I was in the ER, the doctor said, someday you're going to laugh about this. Really?
Oh, back behind you.
It reminds me of laughing. Teresa was talking about the neuroscience, and there is a lot of science about laughing, and there is we've done experiments where people will start laughing over nothing, and then other people will join them. And it's true that it doesn't even have to be about anything. Smiling changes how we feel inside, and laughter also. And it's really interesting that it can be contagious.
So is yawning, and yawning actually increases blood flow to your brain.
Yep. If I yawn right now, I guarantee somebody's going to yawn as well.
Well, I just wanted to mention, I was in California for 3 weeks with my sisters. One of us here is from New York, one is in Illinois, and the other one is in California. Every year, at least lately, we've been getting together. We're getting quite old. And I think it has something to do with my father. My father had a real good attitude about life, so I think we inherited it. And we laugh all the time. Every single day we find something. We're just laughing about everything. I mean, my sisters are just like me. We just enjoy life completely. I really like being with them. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I think it's just something we inherited. I don't think, it's anything that we do ourselves. It's just wonderful being with people who have a real positive attitude. And you seem to draw people in when you have a good attitude. You draw people to you, and you do spread all the happiness and love. People just are drawn to that.
Anyone else? You could put it in the... But if anyone wishes to speak, we'll pass the microphone. Oh, yeah. There you go.
This is my life. All right, this is another ER story. So I'm in the ER, and, when you go to the ER, you intend to stay there all day because you will. And so I was, this is several hours into my experience there. And I hadn't eaten since breakfast. And I am a little, hypoglycemic. So when I don't eat, I get real grouchy. I also had a concussion, so that makes you grouchy. So I was a little on the grouchy side. And my husband was there, and I was rather short with him. And it was quite short with him, actually. And so he left for a while because he had to take care of the dog. And when he came back, because knowing me, this is what my family always resorts to this when I get in this state of hypoglycemia, grouchiness. He came back with the cookie jar and thereby saving the entire emergency room staff.
There you go. Thank you. Anyone else? So I want to thank all those who have shared, all those who have listened intently to the sharing. It's a combination that we do. We share our thoughts, we share what we're thinking, we become vulnerable, and yet this is a safe place to do that because here in our congregation, people are listening and they are responding. And as I say, and I mean it, when you are part of this process, you are ministering to me. And for that, I am very grateful. And I thank you for that. And so our hymn, Morning Has Broken, number 38 in our gray hymnal. I invite you to find it, and Patty will play us in, and then we can sing as we choose. Spoken like the first bird. It's for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. It's for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness, where God's the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of new day. And now it is announcements time. If anyone has the announcements for good of the congregation or the community, please do share. I will share with you that on Thursday, June the 4th, this church, for the second time, is going to be the host of Blessing of Pride. Some of you may know that Niagara Pride, which is now a nonprofit group in Niagara County that does services and programs for LGBTQ individuals, started right down in this basement almost 10 years ago. It built from a community conversation, a place for safety for people who had no other places to gather or share, and now has blossomed into this amazing program that does services every week, does all kinds of programming for older individuals, for younger individuals, for families, as well as doing at least 3 points of pride. There's the Rainbow City Pride near the end of June, Lockport Pride, which is in the beginning. There's one now out in Alcott, and for some reason I keep thinking there's another, as well as doing all of the pride flag raisings, which take both place here in Niagara Falls, up in Lewiston, out at the park, back out in Lockport and other spaces. Anyway, on June the 4th at 6:30, this church will be hosting Blessing of Pride. It is an interfaith. It has representatives from some varied and different faiths that we've never really heard here sometimes in our pulpit. There will also be music, and again, I invite anyone who wishes to be here, come at 6:30 that evening. It is a free and safe space for all to be in. Also, our church, just as has been a tradition, we will do our own Pride service the last Sunday of the month, because that's my last Sunday of the church year here as well. And so you can put that on your calendar as well. Are there any other announcements? So for our benediction, some of you remember there was a comedian, and he used to be, you might be a redneck if, or he used to do, you might be smarter than a fifth grader if, and he would give all these different examples. So here's ours for today. You may be a Unitarian Universalist if belly dancing or singing Pink Pony Club has ever been a part of a Sunday service. You might be a Unitarian Universalist if on Halloween you explain to everyone the pagan significance of their costumes. You might be a Unitarian Universalist if you get mail from committees you didn't know you were on. Yeah, see, there's hands already go, yep, all right, see, there we go. You might be a Unitarian Universalist if you know at least 2 people who are upset that trees had to die for there to be an order of service printed today. You might be a Unitarian Universalist if you considered Millard Fillmore one of the greatest US presidents. He was a Unitarian Universalist. You might be a Unitarian Universalist if you are unsure about the gender of God. And lastly, you might be a Unitarian Universalist if you think the Holy Trinity is reduce, reuse, and recycle. And so we will extinguish our chalice. Patty, would you like to extinguish the chalice? I invite everyone to find our chalice extinguishing words, and let's recite them together. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Hello?
Apparently we're in for a treat today, my friends.
But, do you want to sit right beside me and use this microphone? Okay. We only practice once. We practice one time. This is the first time I've ever sang in front of other people, so this is truly silly Sunday. Please sing with me, because I know you know the song. And who doesn't sing in their car? Come on. We use Mike. Okay.
Do you want to use Mike's, Teresa?
Do you want your own mic?
Do you want your own mic?
Here, you can use this.
Just clip this to your, oh, you got one? Okay.
Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. People stopping, staring. I can't see the faces, only the shadows of their eyes. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going where the weather suits my clothes. Banking off of the northeast wind, sailing on summer breeze. Skipping over the ocean like a stone. And I won't let you leave my love behind, no. Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. People stop and staring. I can't see the faces, only the shadows of their eyes. I'm where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going where the weather suits my clothes. Banking off on the northeast wind, sailing on summer breeze. Skipping over the ocean like a stone. And I won't let you leave my love behind.
much. That was good. Thank you all for being here. Please join downstairs for fellowship and have a great weekend.